Royce Keys just joined with OTM, giving them their main roster debut, taking out the Bloodline, Solo, and LA Knight. Yeah, Raw is over. Let's talk about it. So, let's talk about everything involving LA Knight, and Solo Sikoa. We'll start with the opening segment and get to OTM in a minute. The opening segment with LA Knight, and Solo, just the promo was awesome. It was so much fun. This duo is going to be extremely entertaining. And I like that in LA Knight's promo, he mentioned that Roman did beat Punk and Seth clean. He beat Jacob clean on his own. Not ignoring the facts. He gave Solo a warning shot for using too many of his catchphrases. And then Jimmy and Jay gave Solo a warning shot, and he did the Matrix bullet dodge. And I mean, this was just incredible. I absolutely loved everything about this first segment. And then they ended it with this your warning shot, pew, with everybody saying LA Knight. Yeah. I mean, just incredible. And I'm really looking forward to seeing this duo more often. The hot take is Solo Sikoa and LA Knight, are a hilarious duo, but I remember reading a report that said something about tag team wrestling in WWE, and I said I'd like to have to see it to believe it. Maybe Triple H is about to make tag team wrestling important again, because LA Solo versus the Usos is a fun feud to me. And there have been reports that WWE does want to, fix their tag team wrestling issue. And I am starting to see signs that this could actually be true, but similar to what this person says, I'll have to see it to believe it. But I mean, the MFTs getting Haku, winning the tag titles, getting the War Raiders involved, building tension between Damian Priest and R-Truth, and now putting together LA Knight, and Solo Sikoa potentially as a tag team. I mean, I'm starting to see it, but I'm still not going to fully believe it. And don't get me wrong, I would love if they did this and actually revived the tag team division on both brands. Then the main event tag team match between LA and Solo against the Usos ended in a disqualification from Royce Keys spearing both Jay and Solo through the barricade, and then for some reason, OTM makes their main roster debut, taking out everybody. They were taking out Solo, LA Knight, and the Usos. Obviously, Royce Keys turning heel, and I could say that I and nobody else expected this, which is nice, but I'm interested to see heel Royce Keys, but I do not understand. The one bad thing about this is it makes no sense. Like, genuinely, why is OTM teaming with Royce Keys? Why is Royce Keys attacking LA Knight and Solo Sikoa? He just teamed with them 3 weeks ago, and they won. They didn't even lose. They won. So I really hope that next week they explain to us why Royce Keys was doing this. Why he's with OTM. Why is OTM doing this? Because right now, it does not make any sense. But if they can explain the reasoning behind their actions, I am absolutely in on this. And I think this could be really entertaining. A lot of people don't know who OTM is, and this also kind of goes along with what I was saying a little bit ago, how they could be reviving the tag team division. OTM would be a great way to do that. They could take the titles off of the Vision. Next, we had the in-ring return of Miss Stephanie Bakir going up against the pin eater of the Judgment Day for some reason, Roxanne Perez. And I didn't expect Roxanne to win this. I did get hope when she was going for that moonsault, which was naive of me. Stephanie obviously ended up winning. Stephanie, dude, you didn't need to have her win this match. It did nothing. I mean, she looked great. It looked like she didn't lose a step or anything. But, why? Why do you keep having Roxanne Perez just eat pin after pin after pin? In her past 23 matches, she is 2-21. She has 2 wins and 21 losses. That is genuinely criminal. That is diabolical for how unbelievably talented this woman is. You didn't need to have Stephanie win this. You have the perfect excuse right there. Use the numbers game. Make it a 3-on-1, and that's how Roxanne Perez can win. And you know how big this would be for Roxanne Perez to beat Stephanie Bacchian? This did nothing for Stephanie, would have done so much for Roxanne, and you have the perfect excuse to have Roxanne win. Nonetheless, though, this was a great match. Becky Lynch came out to stop the Judgment Day from getting involved. That adds even more to a way that, Roxy could have won, because Becky hates Stephanie, so she could have just not came out, made it a 3-on-1. Roxanne wins, huge win for her, and doesn't really hurt Stephanie at all. Like, she lost because of Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, two of your women's champions. Like, genuinely, it made no sense why they couldn't just have Roxanne win. We had the final, well, not the final two, but we had two number one contenders matches for the World Heavyweight Championship in the tournament thingy. Dragon Lee versus Rey Fenix and La Parka versus Penta. And wow, surprise, surprise, Rey Fenix and Penta won. So they are going to be facing each other next week. Lord have mercy, that match is going to be insane. Dragon Lee and Rey Fenix put on an unbelievable match. Back-to-back weeks putting on match of the year contenders with Chad Gable and Rey Mysterio, and now Rey Fenix versus Dragon Lee. I mean, this is just genuinely insane, and a lot of people agree, but dude, we're gonna get a third week in a row with Rey Fenix versus Penta. The chemistry is going to be off the charts. I mean, they're literally brothers. Both of them are so unbelievably talented. I can't wait for this match, man. There was a video package confirming that Lola Vice will be arriving to Raw on September 14th, 3 weeks from now, and I'm honestly glad that she's coming to Raw and not SmackDown, because the SmackDown women's division is already so stacked, and there's already so many women not getting TV time that should be getting TV time. So I think the same thing would have just ended up happening to Lola Vice. Very, very excited to see what she can do over on Raw. Then we had the contract signing between Braun Breaker and Oba Femi. Both of them cut a great promo, but the one big complaint I have about this segment is that why in the world is Austin Theory getting involved? This has absolutely nothing to do with Austin Theory. This is about who is the future of the WWE. You know, who's the future, Paul? Not where's Austin Theory, Paul? Get him out of this feud and never have him even sniff anywhere close to this feud ever again. That was the one major stain on this segment. Nonetheless, still super, super excited and hyped for the match. Braun Breaker got back to, feeling scary, getting physical with Paul Heyman, calling Paul Heyman Oba's daddy. I mean, just a great segment from both of these men besides Austin Theory getting involved. Then we had the in-ring return of Big Cass versus Javon Evans. And, Big Cass gotten, a mini push, gotten a good amount of momentum since he returned. Definitely seems like he's doing better than he did with his first run, but I don't expect this to continue. I think that this is going to fizzle out like Rusev's run after like a year, unfortunately. Honestly, WWE needs to stop signing so many new wrestlers and just figure out what to do with all their current wrestlers. They need to stop calling up people. Just figure out what to do with your current wrestlers. Nonetheless, though, Big Cass ended up winning. Good for him. I don't think this is really going to lead to anything, though. Maybe he'll eventually get an IC title shot. And then there was just a funny backstage segment I wanted to talk about with not Roxanne Perez, Io Sky and Soruka and Lyra Valkyria. And Lyra tried to convince Sol to just give her title shot to her, just like last week. I mean, just look at Io's face here. Io had a great reaction to Lyra getting all in her face, and it was super funny. And I really like this pairing of Io Sky and Soruka. I think they fit really well together. And sometime I would honestly love to see them team up for a bit and maybe win the tag team titles. But Lyra, I mean, she needs to get a title shot. She needs to win the IC title. But that's going to be it for this episode of the Raw Review. Thank you all so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you want. And thank you for 1,000 subs, by the way. I love you guys.